Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Friday the 20th of October. Well, it's nice to be back and I hope I can come back with some decent prize winners or a draw bias. And that's what we may have tomorrow at Redcar. So, I've been waiting for this day all year. Fingers crossed it actually works out. So, as you're well aware, if you're a regular subscriber to the channel, or a long-term subscriber, should I say, you may be aware that we did. Okay. We're back to a couple of winners when we could see the draw bias. I've expected a draw bias, and unfortunately, the rain hasn't quite arrived when I wanted it to. However, there is no missing Redcar for the rain this time round. However, I am concerned whether the meeting goes ahead. We've had Redcar. They've had a fair amount of rain, but they've classed it as waterlogged and called it off. It's currently soft now. I've looked at the forecast, and I shall show you the forecast in a minute. I've looked at the regular webcam that I look. If you type in Google, Redcar Esplanade webcam, click on it, and it'll show you the seafront. Literally, I do believe the course is about 2 miles away from the seafront. So it gives you a good indication of how much rain they've actually had, obviously by the puddles on the seafront and whatever. So I'm going to show you the forecast. So it's currently soft at Redcar. I've already typed in Redcar into the Met Office forecast, and the maps come up, and Redcar is there. So blue is that. Well, that shade of blue is I think it's less than 0.5 mil per hour. So you'll see more in a minute. So basically, we're currently on, you can just about see it, we're on midnight. I'm going to skip in 30-minute increments, sorry. So let me keep going, look. Green is 2 to 4 mils per hour, 4 to 8 mils per hour is yellow. Don't go wrong, the rain can shift, but obviously we're talking 5 o'clock now. So we're talking drizzle, we're talking spotting, we're talking slight break, and then all of a sudden, unless it's changed actually. So you've got some green and yellow peppering around again, 4 to 8 mil, and then 12:30, not too long before racing, you see it like flirting with the race course. Pretty much guaranteed it's going to be chucking it down at some point. So there you go again, right? There's no red, which is basically a mini storm or a mini downpour. But there, that's all 5 now, pretty much end of racing. You are going to see rain there tomorrow. It's already soft ground as of 8 o'clock this evening, Thursday evening. So you are pretty much guaranteed. In my opinion, it's going to be heavy tomorrow, and it's probably even going to be borderline being called off. So when it rains on the day, it's normally extremely slow down the middle. They avoid the middle, and they don't even come near side. If they come near side, that's a new one for me. So they go far side and they hug it. And all of a sudden, they start sprinting over to the far side, and you need a jockey that's switched on. So let me get into it. So these are the bets for Friday. I want to mention whether I actually fancy on form or I'm just going for the draw bias. So here we go. So I'm going to minimise that. Straight away, you can see £5 each way. Sorry, no, not £5. 5 pence each way trebles. So the bet is 20 pence each way doubles, comes to £4.80. And 5 pence each way trebles, same horses. So in the 135 at Redcar, I've gone for Slingsby 2 at 20 to 1 and Happier at 12 to 1. They both got sniffs on form. Happier, in my opinion, I can't remember where it raced last time, but I think it was Pontefract. I did tip Gathamfar that day, and they absolutely folded. And one that was pretty much tailed off by Farhi, trained by Richard Farhi, came and won the race. I believe Happier and the pace setters in that race went off far too quick. In its race before that, I can't remember if it was first time blinkers or quick ground, but there was another reason why it didn't run well. If you go a few more runs back, you can give it a chance. So Happier has got a good draw. They both have. I wouldn't go for them otherwise. And they're both trained by the Easterbys. Slingsby is by Mick Easterby. Happier is by Timmy Easterby. I like the look of both of them, but they've got cracking draws. I'll also say, although I haven't had the bet, you can quite often see Easterbys getting forecasts, and normally a decent price forecast. although I am not tipping that and I'm not having that, but I wouldn't put it off. In the 10 past 2 at Redcar, I'm going for Brother Sebastian at 33 to 1 and Parisiac at 14 to 1. Both drawn well. There's I can give both of them chances, although they aren't. They've got sniffs because of the draw. They have shown glimpses of form in the past where they could make their current handicap marks look quite favourable. I believe Parisiac is trained by Alice Haynes. She's got I haven't looked at the strike rate, but I have seen the last few runners at Redcar, and she does seem to have a decent strike rate without me being able to provide the statistics now. So I wouldn't put anybody off Alice Haynes at Redcar. I can remember a while back she had that horse. I think it's not Mason, because I think Mason's a sire, but it's May something. I have tipped it a couple of times, and it's actually, I think it's actually won both times. So the next race is a 2:45 at Redcar, and I've gone purely for the draw bias. Although I do believe so. John Quinn, I believe, has got the favourite. He's also got this 80 to 1, where this 80 to 1 is drawn 2. Its form isn't as bad as it looks. It was gelded before it ever ran, I do believe. It's ran 2 races in the mid-50s in the Racing Post ratings. I can't remember if there's something like 14 runners in this race. In my opinion, that would put it in the top 6. It's got the best, the second best draw in the race. I just don't think it's an 8 to 1 chance. However, this run does qualify for a handicap, so it doesn't surprise me if it's slowly away and never featured. But 8 to 1 is too big a price to ignore. War Memorial, I'll tell you about this horse, or not so much the horse, I'll tell you about the trainer. When the draw bias has worked, I've seen Michael Dodge with horses that are unfavourably drawn win. Well, this is okay drawn. I think it's drawn 6, and I can't look away from it because there are question marks over a lot of the horses in this race. Some are coming off quite big absences. Some have never ran before, and some have still got a bit to prove. So I think War Memorial has probably got the most sensible chance of a place in that race. So this is the main bet on form. So I'm going for a 20 pence each way Lucky 15 and a 50 pence each way accumulator. First selection is Northcliffe at 12 to 1 in the 320 at Redcar, paying 4 places instead of 3. This is, if I remember right, this has got the best of the draw. This is drawn 1. If it's not drawn 1, I'm mistaken, it's drawn 2. Doesn't matter. This horse has got plenty of speed. If they don't go for that far rail, today's not its day. They're not interested in winning today. This horse has got plenty of speed. If it goes to the far side rail, I can't kick it out the first 4. Don't get me wrong, it's had some disappointing races, but when it ran, I think it was 4th of 20 when I tipped it at Ayr. It ran a decent race with only £4 prize money. If this horse is if they want it to win or accrue some prize money before it gets retired for the season or put away for the season, I think this race is worth £4.5, so it's worth more than the 20-runner race. So I think this horse has got every chance. It just doesn't seem right this year. It's ran much better races last year off higher marks. I don't quite know what's going off with it. Second selection is Magical Effect at 20 to 1 in the 430 at Redcar, paying 5 places instead of 4. This is a soft ground and Catterick specialist. However, obviously this isn't Catterick, but I think a lot of the time this season it's been blowing its chances by getting too far behind at Catterick and losing ground on the bend. Well, this is a straight course, and this horse is drawn 2. Jason Hart also again rides this horse. I believe it's got every chance on form. It's crying out for soft ground. It's going to get it, whereas a lot of them won't want it, and it's drawn perfect in stall 2. This horse, oddly enough, normally best off coming from behind, but it's ran some decent races when it's been blasted out, kicked straight out, and made the running, or attempted to make the running when it got collared close to home at Catterick one time. Jason Hart rode it that day when I think he tried to make call. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if they boot it out from stall 2 and it tries to hug that far side rail. I think it's very interesting Magical Effect. And I have noticed that it's gone from 40s to 33s to 20s. Should never have been fought in the first place. Third selection is Shiva Shakti at 6-1 in the 5+5 at Redcar. This horse is trained by Ed Walker. It's left John and Thady Gosden, although I think it's Lady Bamford has still kept hold of it. So it's not like she's sold it. So maybe she still thinks there's a bit of something to come from it, so she's switched trainers, or the trainer maybe thinks a different trainer could get the best out of it. One of those two. Well, a lot in this race, the more fancied horses. This is drawn 4. I believe there's 10 runners, and the fancied horses are drawn not in this order, but 10, 9, 8, 6, 7, and then this drawn. I think it's drawn 4. Is drawn the best of the fancied horses. It's either drawn 4 or 6. I'm not sure, but I think it's not as bad as it looks. 6-1. I think because what happened was it ran second on its debut. And then it was in a big field at Newmarket in soft ground over 1 mile and 2 furlong, only 6-1, ridden by Frankie. So Frankie's not going to ride it if it's a monkey or if it's no good. It ran a shocker. I still think there's more to come from it. And I don't think you're going to be something like I think it was 6-1 or 12. 6-1, I think it was. In the Newmarket field, you're not going to win that price unless they've seen a bit of something about it. So it's an interesting horse, especially with a lot of the horses in this race drawn high. It's over the straight mile, so this horse has dropped back from 1 mile 2 to 1 mile. Cuban Cigar is probably the most interesting of the day. So Cuban Cigar at 13-2 in the 5:38 at Redcar, paying 4 places instead of 3. So this horse is well handicapped. It handles soft ground over hurdles. Linda Russell is absolutely flying at the moment. Obviously, she's married to Peter Scudamore, obviously father of Tom Scudamore. I do believe it's Margot Scudamore riding this horse, which is the daughter of Tom Scudamore. Well, Tom Scudamore, I do now believe is something like, I don't know if he trains in like a satellite yard for Linda Russell, or he's the new assistant, something like that. Well, he isn't going to put his daughter up on an absolute rogue of horse. In my opinion, I don't know how many rides she's had, because I haven't looked into it, but I've never heard of it, apart from this news article that I read a few minutes ago. I think there's nothing more than, is it a stepmom, a granddad, sorry, a step grandma? Whatever it is, granddad, dad, they wouldn't put it on a donkey, and they would all love to see her win on what could be a first ride, or even just a winner under rules. It's well handicapped. It absolutely loves heavy ground. This horse ran, I think it was either Perth or Kelso last time. It was keen pretty much all the way around, prominent, I think it led 2 out. No extra close home, so it only faded close at home over 2 mile at either Perth or Kelso. So that tells me that it's fit. You can't be keen all the way around and only just fail without being fit, or it'll at least strip fit at this time. So I think this horse is extra. I think this horse could win quite easily if I'm right with them wanting to give her a winner. If you know what I mean, I think they'll make it as easy as possible. I'm guessing it's an easy ride. They're not going to put her on a really hard horse to ride, although occasionally it can pull a bit keen. Well, like I said, it can be keen, but there's no way she's not ridden this at home. So those are all the selections for Friday. I'll be posting a video about 8 o'clock-ish Friday night, ready for Saturday. It's a long one today, but I ain't done one for a while, so give me a like or subscribe, that'd be great. Best of luck, fingers crossed. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.